Hi, howdy, hi, hey there, everyone. My name is Aylestair, Allison, and or ArchfiendAylestair, whichever you prefer to know me as, and I would like to welcome you back to Star Chimes channel. Today, we're going to be getting into a little bit of an interesting topic. We're going to be getting into a deep dive of hidden trivia and cut content from Sonic Frontiers. So, without further ado, drum roll, please. Here we go. So, interesting notes. In the English story, the End, which for those of you who don't know is basically a cosmic entity and quite literally world-ending and universe-ending catastrophe, refers to Sonic as a mortal. But in the Japanese story, he is referred to by the End as a creature of potential, which really interesting note when you don't understand that. It means that the End in Japanese sees Sonic more as a creature, a being with limitless ability, potential, and just power in comparison to in the English where he's referred to as simply a mortal. Well, they would see a mortal as something simple, but just so simple that they can't threaten it, challenge it. But in the Japanese story, he refers to Sonic as a creature of potential, something that can rival him, something that can grow in power continuously. It literally had laced to countless civilizations, such as that of the ancients, whom it followed to Earth, and had the complete purpose of annihilating both it and the planet. And it was indirectly responsible for the Chaos Emerald's arrival to Earth, which that itself allowed Sonic to fulfill that potential, which is insane. And the fact that something of that power, which another reason why English and Japanese translations aren't that great, ended up having such a high standard of Sonic in a way in the Japanese translation, as referring to someone and or something as a creature of potential instead of a mortal is actually really high praise when it comes to something that you know could destroy an entire planet with a literal sneeze. Now, moving on from that, there's our next little bit of trivia and or cut content we like to talk about, which is an unused Guardian, which is referred to as the Beetle, and never finished. It was scrapped from the whole thing. However, its unused attacks can still be found within the game's internal files, and it was replaced by Caterpillar. And it was seen in leaked beta footage of Sonic Frontiers. In the finalized version, however, it was completely removed, and its unused games were, unused games, oh my lord, unused attacks were still in the internal files. This next one, is quite interesting. In the promotional art book, The Art of Sonic Frontiers, images of several enemies and bosses are seen with fully modeled, unused gold varieties and variants. And according to Morio Kishimoto, these were originally implemented into the game, but removed later on due to not fitting within the game's memory across platforms. And interestingly enough, possibly in reference to these scrapped enemies, a stronger golden variant of the wolf enemy appears during Tiger's trial in the Final Horizons. Another note, some codes and graphics of Sonic Forces can be found within the game's files. These were used as a base while the game was in development. The game still has support for the baked lighting system that was used from Sonic Unleashed, one of my favorite Sonic games of all time, mind you, up to Sonic Forces. This was replaced in favor of the dynamic real-time lighting that's used in the final game. And another interesting note, while grabbers are still seen in the cyberspace levels, there are unused variants for the Badnik that can be found for it in the game's files. These relate to it both for walking around and moving along the grind rails, as opposed to where grabbers were mainly seen hanging off of the ceilings, as they are a spider-based Badnik made by Dr. Eggman and mass-produced. So, unfortunately, those weren't in the game. Would have loved to see them. That honestly sounds like it would make it more difficult to traverse, but that also would make it more fun because you'd have to figure it out, right? Now, a quick reminder for you. If you like the video and want more content like this, like, subscribe, and let us know what game you want facts, trivia, and Easter eggs on next in the comments. Thank you for the support. And if you do that, maybe I'll be back again for some more videos. I honestly do enjoy doing these and my little tangents. Sometimes I try not to do too many, but I get distracted sometimes. So there's another little thing here that there's an unused object that appears to resemble some sort of weight in the game and can be found in the game's files, though the object does nothing if interacted with. The object does play some unique sound effects though, which kind of silly. There are numerous unused dialogue files present within the game, so many unused dialogue files that are there, and we'll play a few here for you.
I'm so cold now. Numb. Objective complete. Push through it. Endure. I'm still here, aren't I? My friends. This is for my friends. Remember. This is for no time to waste. My name is... There
is also an unused variant of the treadmill map challenge in the open zone. Instead of having the player running as fast as possible, this version of the challenge requires them to I'm just running over my words today. Them to maintain a specific speed. Found within Supreme's data files are 3 unused QuickTime events. One has Supreme related to its rifle, where it fires 4 shots at Supersonic, as the player must dodge all of them as they make their way back to it. In the final game, only the first shot gets used. There are also multiple files of unused master trials located within the game, but I was only able to find a few screenshots here. And in the files for the Sonic's Birthday Bash update, there are older versions of the models used for the new Cocos found in another story. When restored, most of the textures seem to be broken. And finally, oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Let's take a look at some cutscenes. Cutscenes. And with that, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want more content like this, and let us know what game you want us to do next.